Welcome to another Figuring Out Japan video, and this is going to be a very special video because pretty much all the videos on the channel are designed to do one thing, which is to educate you guys. It's our job to educate the customer about what figures exist and what we think about them. So that's why the videos are made. But a lot of you have actually asked about what about my collection, my own personal figurine collection. And that's what this video is all about, and it's exactly what you are looking at in front of you. So a couple of things to note with this collection. Firstly, these are all the figures that I obtained while living in Japan. They are all Japanese exclusive figures. They were not released outside of Japan. There actually were a couple that aren't. There are a couple exceptions to what I just said. I will point those out when I get to them. The second thing to note with this collection is that I have reviewed all of these figures. So everything you see here has appeared in at least, and I do say at least, one other video. If you want to see a detailed review of them, you can click in the description of this video. There's a link to our YouTube channel. You can see all our videos, and every single video will have links to that YouTube channel, as well as our eBay store and our Facebook page, and there's also an email address. And the final thing that I wanted to note was, I've gone blank. Oh yes, you can buy all these figures. So all of these figures you can buy. Now there are a couple of figures here that are actually customized figures or repaint figures. So you can't quite buy everything, but pretty much everything you see here you can buy unless I point it out and say, this is a custom figure. Now I'm going to go through things pretty quickly, because I like to keep videos under 10 minutes. We're already up to 2 minutes, so I'm sure you guys are probably going to have questions or things, so feel free to leave a comment or get in touch with us via the email address in the description of this video. We'd also love to see other people's collections around the world, your own personal collection. This is by no means the best collection I've ever seen, so I'm sure you guys have got better collections than this. Or even if you don't, we'd love to see photos. We do have a hashtag on Instagram. Again, that's in the description of this video. You can feel more than free to post videos of your collection on our Facebook page. We'd just love to see some of the collections around the world. So anyway, let's get into it. I'm going to start with Naruto here. So this is a poster from Shonen Jump. You can see all of the manga there. But you could probably get the picture of that online. And then we have the Kyuubi, Naruto, and Sasuke. There was a Kakashi released as well, which I don't have. Then we have here the Akatsuki. Now these three figures are Japanese release figures, the Itachi, Deidara, and Sasori. The ones in the back are also Japanese release figures. Unfortunately, there were never full-size versions of those. So you've got Kidan Kakuzu and Kisame. And the Tobi and Zetsu, as well as the Konan here, and the Pain there, they are actually bootlegs. They're not copies of originals, because originals were never made. There aren't figures that release of these, but they are, they're not officially released products. But they do look pretty decent, and they're pretty important characters, so very happy to have them in my collection. So at the start I said a couple of figures were not Japanese ones. Those ones are not Japanese ones, as well as this Pain. This is an original figure. It's very expensive. It's released by a French company. It's a bit light there. So yeah, but pretty much everything else aside from those are Japanese figures. So continuing on, this is the Minato and Jiraiya Ichiban Kujis. He does come in two colored versions. This is the rarer sepia version, and this is the Kakashi Shinobi Relations figure as well. So you can see I pretty much have everybody from the Akatsuki. Oh, I didn't mention this guy. He came with the video game released this year. He was released in Japan, but he was actually a worldwide release as well. So it was actually too hard to get in Japan, so I actually got him online. A couple more Kujis. You've got Tobi and Itachi, and then the Mega House Chimi Mega. Madara, I was really happy to get him because they come in boxes and you can't see inside, so I only had a 1 in 6 chance of getting him, and I actually got him on the first go. These are not figures. Somebody very special to me gave them to me as a souvenir from Okinawa. This is actually an Okinawa mythical creature, and in fact the Kyuubi as well is a Japanese mythical creature. It's not an original Naruto creation, and that's another Chimimega. Then I've got some Pokemon figures. I'm not really into Pokemon, but I've always loved Venusaur, and you know, as I've said in a lot of my videos, I care about making displays rather than just one-off, or you know, yeah, I'm interested in making what looks good displayed together. So this Venusaur here looked a bit lonely, so I got the Charizard and the Blastoise. Very rare. Ironically, this is probably the most expensive display that I would have. This Charizard alone on eBay can sell for, you know, $450. Very, very expensive set there. And then I also have the Kuroko no Basket jerseys. I do love basketball. I don't really have the figures of Kuroko no Basket, but I did get the jerseys. I wore this actually for Halloween last year in Japan. So let's now get into Dragon Ball. So this is a custom. So this is one of the custom figures I mentioned, Super Saiyan Goku. Very heavy, very large figure. He does have pupils. Actually, it's a bit hard to show there. So very, very cool figure. And I display him with the Vegeta holding Dragon Ball and the Frieza S-Cultures. So that is an amazing, that's one of the best figures I reckon Banpresto ever released. Amazing release, that one. And then the Legend of Saiyan Trunks and Vegeta, which I display with the Android Saga, which I'll show you a little bit later. Then we have the Z Fighters, as they're known colloquially. So the 5 strongest dudes. You got Gohan, Vegeta, my favorite character, Future Trunks, which I'll try and show there. He's pretty cool. And then, now before I came to Japan, I didn't know what figures had been released actually. I basically knew nothing. So I know how you guys feel about not knowing stuff. But my girlfriend's brother actually brought out the first 2 figures I ever saw in Japan was this Goku and this Piccolo. And I still remember it so clearly, him putting it on the table. And my brain just struggled to comprehend just what I could see in front of me. Just the quality of these figures just blew me away. And there's still, I'd be a fence sitter and say I love all these figures, but if I really had to pick one of my favorite figures, this would be it. This is my favorite figure in my collection, the Super Saiyan 3 Goku. It's not a repaint, it's not a custom figure. You can buy this figure exactly like this. Just an amazing, amazing figure. Then over here I have my Frieza Saga display. So you've got the first form Frieza with his henchmen. Obviously you've got Zarbon, Captain Ginyu, Dodoria, and second form Frieza, which is apparently his true form, of course, if you remember the show. There is going to be a Ginyu Force set coming out in June next year, so stay tuned for that one. Then this is my Android Saga display. This was the last display I actually put together. Really happy with it because I got some figures that I really wanted to get, particularly in the S-Cultures line. So you got Cell, Giro, his hat does actually come off, and 16. And I kind of turned this into a Red Ribbon Army display because I got the Chief and this sort of child Goku, which I originally had with my Saiyan Saga display I'm about to show you. But yeah, I've sort of turned this into a bit more of a Red Ribbon display. And then again, one of my other favorite figures of Goku. So that's that one. And then this is the Saiyan Saga display I mentioned. So some of these are repaints. So this Bardock is a repaint. King Vegeta is not a repaint. He looks very cool. This Raditz is a repaint. I apologize for all the dust. You can see there. And the Nappa is also a repaint. And this is also a repaint. This Vegeta came out this year, but I've painted him the Alia version. And then this was the other customized figure. I'm not going to explain it all because I did in the video of it, but it's essentially a mix of the Raditz and the Super Saiyan Vegeta that came out in S Culture Series 5. So you can't buy a figure that looks like this. This is a one-off. We're nearly there. And then actually I forgot to show this guy. So he's actually part of the Android Saga display. So this is the Super Saiyan 2 MSP repaint Gohan with all the blood and guts. And then another repaint with some energy waves. This is the Super Saiyan Vegito. You can buy this figure, but not with this exact, you know, all the silver paint and stuff, or all the blue waves at the bottom. So that is a repaint, and the last repaint actually in my collection. And then Majin Buu, very rare figure, that one actually. And the Pearl version of Super Saiyan Vegeta. So this one has shiny hair, and he's got pretty sick eyes. And I normally display this actually with the Super Saiyan 3 Goku that I talked about before. So that way you've got, you know, Vegeta, Goku, Buu, and then Vegito. And then what you could do is put the Goku here to make the Z Fighters. Obviously you don't display all these like this. I have them all everywhere, but I've put them all this just for this video. And then the last figures I'm going to show you today is the God Goku, the Bills, and the Whis that came out with the movie Kami to Kami, or Battle of Gods. These figures are now very rare. Once Dragon Ball Super was announced and that these were going to be some of the main characters, the price just basically tripled overnight. Even more than tripled maybe. So I do have another couple of figures that I don't have on display here, which is the, or don't have out here for this video, which is the Uzaru Vegeta with Goku, Diorama, Ichiban Kuji, and also the gold Shenron. They're both very large figures. I may sell them just because they're so big. I don't really have the room living in small Japan to have those. But anyway, this is it. As I said, if you do have any questions or comments, feel free to get in touch. We can basically get everything here for you. So feel free to get in touch with us via the email in the description of this video. For me, you know, I'm pretty happy with this collection. My girlfriend doesn't really like figurines. She loves anime and manga, but you know, I think I'm doing pretty well just to have this much as it is. So yeah, very satisfied with this. I'm sure it'll slowly increase over time. As I said, Ginyu Force coming out next year. There's always just really cool. There's a new Frieza that's actually just been released in Japan. We're sending those out to everybody who ordered them on pre-order. So there's so many great stuff. So feel free to get in touch with us. Love to see your own collections. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.